for joining us. I'm with a gentleman here, a businessman, Mr. Matimba Maboda. Sir, welcome and greet the viewers and just give us a bit of a background about yourself, who you are, where you come from, and so that we can get to know you better.
Morning, Dr. T. Thanks for the invite. I'm excited to be having this interview with you. As you've said, my name is Matimba Mabunda. I hail from Guyana and spend most of my time in Gauteng. I am currently completing my master's in chemical engineering. My background is in chemical engineering. I did my undergrad in the same field as well. Entrepreneurship is what I'm passionate about, specifically solving problems. And if you could solve problems and make money whilst at it, then yeah, why not? So that's me in a nutshell.
No, thank you so much, sir. I was actually curious when you spoke about engineering. Usually, people who are doing engineering, they are recognized as the smartest in class, earning a lot of money.
Yeah.
I want to understand, where did entrepreneurship come from? How did you branch from engineering to entrepreneurship?
So I would think that for me, the chemical engineering background is such that I would think for any engineering discipline or any other discipline for that matter, you are you are you are equipped with knowledge that lets you identify yourself in society, and wherever you find yourself, surely there are always problems that can be solved. So I thought to myself that instead of being or of doing the most generic work, I could solve other pressing problems that we have. And due to the skill set that I have, so it comes like naturally. So that's how it fits. So I wouldn't think solving problems or entrepreneurship is only for engineers. I would think from all these departments, your arts, your humanities, your commercial fields as well. They still we are equipped with skills that we take out into the world, and wherever we go, there are always problems that can be solved. So it's that bold decision to say that, you know what, I'm not going to join the pack. I will decisively choose to solve a specific problem that I find to be immediate around my surroundings. So yeah, I think it's for everyone basically. Yeah.
I hear you. I hear you. And maybe for somebody listening, maybe a matric student, somebody out there who doesn't know what chemical engineering is all about, how will you summarize it in a nutshell?
Okay, in a nutshell, I would make an example with making tea. So to make tea, you need a cup, you need sugar, you need milk, you need a tea bag or coffee, and you need water. So, but then you need to ask yourself, what kind of water? It's water at a certain temperature, so hot water to make the tea. And then you ask yourself, what kind of sugar, how much sugar should you add? You're not going to add the whole half cup sugar, and so you need to know at what quantity, and what size of cup. All those things, putting them in place, so it's like a process. Actually, tea is making a process. I look at it, maybe it's because after my studies, but if I were to summarize chemical engineering, it's all about synthesizing, putting things together at certain conditions, like even cooking. I would think that it's still chemical engineering. You have to cook at a certain time. You don't just open the stove to full blast and because you want to control your process. You want to make sure that you don't burn your food, you don't add so much salt. So it's basically that. So it's synthesizing materials. Like you see in the room you are in now, all the things that you see that are surrounding you, it's materials that have been synthesized. The shirt you are wearing, when you break it down from the first steps, it's chemical engineering was involved there. So
I
it's
hear
it's
you.
all around basically. Yeah.
And if somebody, let's say, for example, they're in matric, they want to liken chemical engineering to a particular subject. Somebody who's a mathematician can say, if you don't like math, you can't be a mathematician. Is there a particular school subject that you can liken to what you do mostly in chemical engineering to say if you like this subject, you are likely going to do well in chemical engineering?
I would think that because at the end of the day, it's also an element of problem solving. So your physics and your mathematics and your chemistry, those three, they have, so chemical engineering was born from those three basically. So they were branches, pieces and pieces from each were taken to synthesize. So I would think at high school level, you won't necessarily see what chemical engineers do, but imagine that those three subjects are put together to make chemical engineering, if that makes sense. I know, for example, back in the days, chemistry, we used, is it study master's textbook, if I remember, there was a subject there about chemical change. So that's the only topic I think closely relates to what chemical engineers do. But that topic is built upon by the other ones, your chemistry part, your organic chemistry and all that, and your mathematics, from solving equations, all that basically. So in a nutshell, have those three subjects, you are having a pretty much good idea of what could come out from putting them together and forming chemical engineering. Yeah.
Yeah, just for somebody watching and want to follow the career in chemical engineering, what are the requirements? How do they need to pass? Because I hear that the requirements are very tight to get involved in engineering. And are they job opportunities? Because we hear a lot about unemployment.
Yeah, that's a difficult question. But for someone wanting to study chemical engineering, obviously from high school level, have your maths in a good light, pass it well, pass your physics, pass your chemistry, so at least have those in good condition, have a good mark for maths, for chemistry and for physics. Yeah, those, and obviously pass the other ones to get your overall admission. But it's mostly about problem solving. I think that's the core of the study, such that everything you look at, you can almost see how it happened. Like I look at your shirt, I can almost understand how it was made. Everything basically, your glasses. So the focus is on, it's from molecular level where you synthesize materials, things like that. So if you have a curiosity of uh, how the shape of a cup was made, I mean, I was amazed. The shape of a cup is like a mathematical formula. You know how people always say,
Wow.
where do I apply solve for X? Where do I? It's a graph. You can draw your graphs, and you make your shape of it. That curvature of a car, whatever. So all those things, for example, just formulas. So I would think if you're curious about it, and it's very challenging, obviously, but because it challenges all parts of you, like any other course. So have those in place, and yeah, it's good. It will help you analyze, be analytical. You will develop, you will become a new person. So,
I hear you.
but yeah, yeah. And then in terms of career opportunities, that one it's statistically, in South Africa, things are not looking sharp. So I would think that if you want to study engineering with hopes of saying that I want to get a job, or yes, you can get it, it's possible, but I think it's about time we broaden our thinking, because the very same thinking skills that, I often hear people say that I'm not an entrepreneur, I just want to work. It's fine, but my thinking is that entrepreneurship is not for special people or anything. It's for those that are willing to try and stand up and have a voice that, you know what, I want to solve a problem. It's for those people that want to solve problems. It's not for, I don't know, it's arguable. People say they're born entrepreneurs. I don't think so. I mean, my dad, for example, is not an entrepreneur, and my grandfather wasn't, things like that. But I've taken a decision that I want to solve problems, and that's what I was taught at school, like at university, about engineering. It's about problem solving. So I'm deciding to apply that. So it's tricky now, because whilst a student, I saw that, okay, statistics are saying I'm not opposed to not getting a job. I like getting a job. It's good. It's good to gain experience. But now if I say that there's 100 graduates and there's only 4 spots or 10 spots, does it make sense to now compete for those 10 spots? Maybe it's time to apply engineering or whatever you've learned. Okay, then it's a problem. You now have the skills. How can you be creative around it, And yeah, so looking at it differently. So I don't have a straight answer to say whether there are opportunities or not, but at the moment, current employment rate is above 40%, as recently reported. So that should make you think. So maybe it needs you to shift your priorities to say that, okay, the skill that I'm going to gain, if I get a job, fine, good for you. But if I don't, let me also be thinking of other ways of
I hear you.
yeah.
I hear you. Yeah, look, I mean, you are speaking as an entrepreneur, and everybody's watching here, they must know that you're not just an engineer, you are actually a businessman. And I encourage them to watch your video where you share about your entrepreneurial journey, so that they can also learn how to think out of the box, not just focus on just getting a degree in engineering, but what can you do without a degree in order to build your own business. Any last words for any students out there?
I mean, last words to the students, as much as, I don't know, there's a lot I can say, but now that building from the first question, what I can say is let's also be realistic. There's an element, sometimes there's an element of saying, yo, I will finish my studies, get a job. But yes, you can get it for sure. Yeah, but let's be realistic and solve the problems of our time. Maybe the like I said, maybe I'm just repeating the same thing again, but let's be realistic in a sense that because other people say to me, I've had this conversation with this other colleague, and then she was like, yeah, there are 100 graduates and then there's 10 spots, but you are not like them. You can stand out. You can, I mean, yeah, I can, but what about the other 90? What if I fall part of the other 90? So now, should I now, obviously, I mean, I don't want to speak from a point of privilege. There's a feeling of people are going through a lot because they're not having jobs, but I think the effect can be lessened by what do I mean, can be reduced. Yeah, the effect can be reduced by thinking, okay, if this doesn't happen, what other thing can I do so that I don't find myself anyway. Yeah, I hope I'm making sense. I don't mean to say that. Yeah.
I hear you.
So,
I think you are speaking like an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs, they think like that. They're always thinking about, and I think that's what Eddie is all about. Eddie was actually originally came because they wanted to resolve the issue of youth unemployment.
Exactly.
Let's not produce graduates who just have a degree, but graduates.
Yes, thank you.
And that's actually what you have done with yourself.
Thank you. Thanks for that. Thanks for saying it very well. That's what I wanted to say.
Thank you.
Because thanks, Doc, for because at the end of the day, and that supports what I've been thinking all along, that you can't say you are a born entrepreneur. You make a decision that, you know what, I want to solve a problem and I see unemployment is an issue. So if I get employed, then only one person minus one less person that's unemployed. But if I start a business or try something, maybe I could couple 3 or 4 more people. So you see, that's impact. So I'm employed and 4 other people are employed, or we like doing a business. So that lessens the strain to the whole bigger problem we are facing. And should things go well, we keep on adding the numbers, and then we are solving a much bigger problem, Yeah, but primarily, let me say that again, primarily we want to solve real pressing problems, like problems of pollution, all that. And I would think employment just comes as an added benefit, because throughout solving a plastic waste problem, be it through construction and whatnot, by getting people to drive the vehicle, so that becomes an added benefit, whereas the baseline is solving the real problem that's affecting most of us.
Thank you so much, sir. Matimba Maboda. Anybody can be an entrepreneur, so we just need a change of mind. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I wish you all the best in your career path
Yeah.
and everything that you do.
Yeah, thanks, Doc. I appreciate it, and I hope I will get an opportunity to share with you in the future whether things go well or good. I don't know, bad
Look,
or good.
the way
As
you are
we-
going, I think everything will go well with you. With the pace you are
thanks,
going.
Doc. Yeah, thanks, Doc. Much appreciated.
No, keep well. Thanks for your time.
Yeah. Okay.